Big stuff coming in. We got Twitch drops. We got interesting class changes. Another big round of class changes, I should say. Changes to the in-game DPS meters. And yes, there is an in-game currency coming. Or I should say store currency. It's all but confirmed now by Blizzard themselves. So let's talk about this stuff. Here we go. November 11th. You will be getting a Twitch drop. If you watch this shitty stream or any other WoW stream on Twitch for 4 hours, you can get yourself the Violet Sweatsuit Transmog. That's right. Wear your favorite Violet sweatsuit around World of Warcraft. Obviously, the Violet to play on midnight, giving yourself that purple look and revealing your manhood to everybody who walks by you. So there you go. Get yourself a Violet sweatsuit. 4 hours of watching this city stream will do it for you. Besides that, also, unlocking the Elven Secrets. We have some decor items and a new Lorewalking thing to be able to play through. So in 11.2.7, which we know is coming here in December 2nd, they are adding a new Lorewalking title, The Elves of Quel'Thalas, a new Lorewalking playthrough, which, by the way, Lorewalking, great addition to the game. I think it's a great way to tell stories, a great way to get introduced to the lore, and a really cool way to earn some items, right? So with 11.2.7, we'll be getting a new one talking about the Elves of Quel'Thalas, you know, bringing in that Elven storyline. We know that's going to be a big thing here in Midnight. Also, you'll earn a player housing item through this thing, the Tome of Silver Moon Entry. Yeah, so a cool little book. You'll be able to place this thing around in your house somewhere. Obviously, never read it, just like all the books in your real house, but you can use this as your first piece of real housing item. Official housing items coming to WoW in 11.2.7 because housing is going to be live. So crazy stuff happening, and another Lorewalking event, which I'm happy to see them iterating on. Another crazy thing. We talked about this just yesterday. I was telling you guys this mount was data mined, and I had no reason or no inkling of how you're going to get this thing. I said it could be trading post, could be a mythic mount, not sure. Well, this purple owl boy is actually a mount for your mounts. That's right, 600 mounts, in fact. If you get the achievement of getting 600 mounts in this game, you will get the purple owl boy. What is this thing called? The Reigns of Aurelius Flames Guidance. So there you go, a purple variant on the mythic mount that we once saw back in Dragonflight. Cool looking mount, honestly. And worthy of 600? Maybe some arguments to be had that it's not worth 600 mounts necessarily, but I think a lot of people are already near that. I mean, how many mounts do some of you guys have in chat? I'm nowhere near it because I'm not necessarily a mount collector. I just always go for the mounts that I like, personally, that I like the look of. But having 600 mounts, certainly achievable in this game, no doubt. And it looks like it's going to be something that... if post-Legion remix with all the mounts that are available there, that a lot of people probably are going to get off the bat. I'm at 90 mounts. See, you got Warmund's already at 900, so there's people who are going to get this thing the day it becomes available. 1,132 mounts from Camp Shady. Jesus, man. I'm sad about the Bronto. Oni, if you're talking about the fact that, yes, the Brontosaurus or the return of the big long boy, it looks like it might only be a China thing. I did see an article about that. Not sure if it's true yet, so didn't report on it. But since you brought it up in chat, I'll bring it up now. It looks like that might only be a China return of the long boy. We'll see if it is. It's not confirmed yet, so Oni, don't get too upset yet. But yes, the long boy's return might be in jeopardy for those people who were actually excited about spending $90 on a long boy again. Besides that, we got damage meters. We know that Blizzard released the damage meters, kind of some images of it, and some people were upset by what Blizzard was doing. So by the way, if you don't know, add-ons are going away. Blizzard's bringing in damage meters integrated in the game, so you will no longer have that outside damage meter. And this is the thing I'm most excited about. I've been saying this for a while now. I think Blizzard's damage meters are going to be the most accurate version of damage meters we've ever seen. Because we know right now with damage meters currently in the game, the group splits up a little bit, raid splits onto different platforms, damage meters get all messed up. With Blizzard's own integrated version of it, that won't happen anymore. Well, people were upset because the only thing the damage meter was showing, at least by Blizzard's images, were damage and healing. Obviously, people use damage meters for much more than that. Well, hold your panties from getting into a bunch because Blizzard is iterating on this. Once again, they've now added in interrupts and dispels into their own integrated damage meters. I'm sure we're going to get more stuff, and I told people this back when they were upset last time. I said, wait a minute, calm down. Blizzard's going to iterate on this. They're going to add more stuff. Damage and healing are the obvious ones, the first ones they're going to put in, but more stuff is going to come for sure. So right now we have... It is where the fun begins because damage and healing, they're a big part of the game. It's... It's important to be able to see, and I've always wondered why this wasn't integrated in the game a long time ago. But now we're going to get damage done or damage per second, healing done or healing per second, and then numbers of interrupts or dispels. I also want to see like a death counter or, you know, a death timer for boss fights. It's a good way to see who's messing shit up early in a fight, and it's an important thing for ratings. So I would like to see that stuff happen. I'm sure they're going to add stuff like that, and they'll continue to iterate on this. Again, damage meters, the thing I'm most excited for by far that Blizzard's adding into the game. Midnight Alpha continues on now in a Phase 6, and we're getting a ton of class changes on top of the class changes we've already gotten. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but I will call out which classes just got another round of major class changes here in Phase 6 of Alpha. Tier set's getting a few little change-ups again. We've seen the tier set stuff iterated on a couple times now. It looks like they're trying to raise the overall damage bonuses things getting. Tier sets overall, not that exciting right now in terms of what they're actually giving, and that's because all the other shit Blizzard's doing, I think they didn't want to balance crazy tier set bonuses on top of all the other changes they're making. So for now, tier set bonuses are really just kind of a damage increase, which is fine. We'll take it for the first round of tier sets this cycle, and we'll see what they actually end up looking like maybe in Season 2. As for classes, more changes coming to Death Knights, to Hunters, to Mages. We also see mages are getting a ton of. Look how long that is. Jesus. Monks getting a few changes here. Paladins getting some changes. Priests getting. Rogues. Shamans. Warlocks getting a major amount. Look at this. Huge amount of changes for Warlocks as well. And finally, Warriors. I'm going to link this in the chat and down below so you can actually review the specific changes that happened to your class if I call them out. More changes to come, I'm sure, for many, many classes. But for now, as for Alpha Phase 6, these are the changes that just happened. Let me paste this in the chat real quick. I'll also paste this down below and the video if you're watching this on YouTube so you can actually see what happened with your classes. How long do you say? Well, pretty long. Also, we got some user interface stuff to talk about here. So, new accessibility feature. New combat audio alert system is being integrated in the game. It will read out various combat events and text-to-speech. Settings for this system are available under Options, Accessibility, and then Audio Assist. System settings including the ability to adjust the voice, the volume, and speed of the TTS message. Combat events are supported in this build, including player target health, each with settings to control how often the updates are read and which format the message is read in. So some people might say, well, why are they getting rid of my boss callouts and stuff then if they're going to have a TTS system? Well, this thing's not going to tell you what to do. It's going to call stuff out, but it's not going to say, you know, soak or run away or interrupt, you know. It's just going to basically tell you things that are obvious on the screen that are being called out on the screen by Blizzard's own integrated boss mod callouts and stuff like that. So this is good to see for people who obviously might have issues understanding what's going on in the game. It's a nice accessibility feature for them. They will support adding more combat events throughout the remaining weeks of Alpha and Beta. Also, we see add-on security changes. They loosen restrictions on add-on access to player spellcasts. Also loosen restrictions on add-on access to maximum health and power values. Made improvements to the abilities of add-ons for format secret numbers into text. So they're giving a bit more leeway to add-ons being in the game here. Made quality of life improvements to various add-on or APIs. The playstyle drop-down creation interface also is iterated on here. It has been updated with standardized options and is now available for more types of group content, helping players find groups that better match their goals and expectations. So yeah, if you didn't know this, Group Finder has a little thing that allow you to put your play style or the kind of group people you're looking for. Now, I don't know about how I feel about this, to be honest with you, because if you don't put experts only, does that mean you're just going to wipe all the time? Or is everybody just going to put experts? I mean, WoW players can be toxic. Are we just going to get the experts only groups, the only ones in queue? I don't know. But right now, we're seeing these are your options. A learning group, fun and relaxed group, fun and serious group, and experts only group. I think for like keys and maybe raid, you're going to see, I don't know, experts only. I can't imagine fun and serious being an option, or even more so fun and relaxed. I mean, what's fun and relaxed going to be used for? maybe your Goldshire Inn giant orgy groups that people want to do. Yeah, it's fun and relaxing, maybe. Depends on if you like every orifice penetrated or not. But besides that, when are you going to actually use some of these? I don't know. Early in a season, maybe you'll see somebody putting learning. But I'm not sure the game actually needed this. But anyways, it's getting this little iteration here so you can actually see what kind of group play style you'd be queuing up for. Let them burn. Good morning, Chad. What's up? To be honest, I'm glad they're removing add-ons. I am too. Sam is permanently in the learning category. Probably true. Besides that, guys, it's been confirmed. It's very sad. This is very sad. We data mined the Hearthstone currency, right? Hearthsteel, I should say, currency. And everyone was wondering what that actually is. And I was saying it's probably some kind of store item to buy shit with. It's a virtual currency, which means it's a virtual play on trying to siphon money out of your pocket for shit. Well, Blizzard finally commented on it. They said, "Hello, everyone. We want to take a moment to discuss some of our philosophies around the shop, Hearthsteel, and our plans around housing item acquisitions. Before diving too far into it, it's important to define what Hearthsteel is. Hearthsteel is a new virtual currency, son of a bitch, for World of Warcraft being added to the Midnight expansion. It's purchased with real money using your Battle.net balance. So this can be a conversion then between WoW tokens. So if you purchase WoW tokens, then convert it over to gold, convert that over to Battle.net currency, you can get Hearthsteel. And used in turn to buy housing items from the Battle.net shop and in-game shop." So there you go. It's confirmed, guys. It is an in-game currency. It's going to be used for housing items. So there you go. They still want some yachts. I thought this was all so Bobby could get a yacht. Yeah, but I guess other people want yachts at Blizzard too now. So we'll see what that means. Our philosophy. Let's see if their philosophy helps us at all. At the top level, our main priority is making housing fun. I don't get how this makes it more fun, but okay. And player-friendly. Something that can be enjoyed by players of all kinds. To that end, here are a number of guiding principles. The vast majority of housing items are, and will continue to be, earnable in-game. Only a small fraction is available for purchase in the shop. Comparing this number against the collectibles such as mounts is a good metric, with more than 1,000 mounts earnable in-game and only a few dozen in the shop. That's fine if they want to talk about item, like the number of items, but what about item quality, right? Because we know how the mount thing has worked out, right? Yeah, we have more mounts in the game, but when talking about actual mounts that are like worthy of getting or actually get you excited in the morning to get up, a lot of mounts that we get in game are just recolorations of old mounts. But the WoW store mounts are unique skeletons, unique new models that we haven't seen in the game before a lot of times. And that's why they're cool. That's why people want them. So I'm assuming, honestly, that a lot of really cool player housing items, a lot of very unique player housing items are only going to be shop items, which is, it's kind of shit. What are we going to do? If Europe goes through with the law, can we scrap that? Maybe. Maybe. Yes, if you guys don't know, I reviewed a whole thing about how Europe's changing the laws to basically disable things like this, to make things like this illegal, where you've got a virtual currency paid for with a real currency, and the virtual currency is used to buy things in the game. They just want to say straight up, you got to put the dollar amount. No more virtual currency conversions. You pay for shit with cold hard cash, which I agree with. We'll see if that actually happens. If it does, we can say bye-bye to Hearthsteel, at least in Europe. And most likely, a lot of times when things happen in Europe, they trickle out from there and it changes everywhere else too. But for now, Hearthsteel is going to be a thing. So housing items tied to core fantasies of a player, race, or class, or that already exist in Azeroth, won't be sold in the shop. Thematically, item decor that players know and love will also now appear in the shop. Okay. All housing items in the shop will be available for individual purchase, while we'll sometimes offer sales on bundles of items for a limited time. You shouldn't feel like you have to spend money now or risk missing something you want. Okay, that's fine. They're not going to have too much FOMO going on is what they're saying. The cost in the shop are clearly defined. The ratios of Hearthsteel to real money are fixed and easily understood at a glance. So then why don't you just make it a real money thing? The whole shop is already real money. Why? If it's easy to understand, why put in a virtual currency? It's because it's supposed to make you spend more money. It's supposed to not be easy to understand. It's actually supposed to make you more comfortable with spending it. That's why they do this kind of shit. So, I mean, the fixed is fine. It's not going to be variable. But I don't think that's even allowed legally for them to vary the worth of Hearthsteel anyways, a virtual currency. But I digress. Whatever. It's a thing they're doing. You should be able to obtain an amount that makes sense for the purchases you want to make. So that whole thing sometimes where you only want like 10 of a currency, but you can only buy 12 at a time. So you always got to spend extra to get them. They're not necessarily saying that's not going to happen. They're just saying, oh, it's going to be about the amount that you want for what you're buying. We'll see. Similarly, the costs of items are designed to align with Hearthsteel's offer amounts in a player-friendly way. Buying Hearthsteel at the amount you want lets you purchase the item you want without requiring you to think about which packs you want to buy or be added all together for minimalized leftovers. Okay, so they're saying maybe you'll be able to actually purchase the amount you want. I actually think it's the law has been playing into the fact that these over purchases of currency is kind of frowned upon. Nintendo recently changed their currency for their store because you had to buy so much. Now you can directly buy the amount you need a lot of times for the Nintendo store. So we'll see if that actually works out. WoW tokens are never worth the same amount of gold for more than a couple hours. Gold, being worth a certain amount of gold doesn't matter, but WoW tokens always cost the same amount of real money. That's what can't change. So yes, the amount of currency in the game that they're worth can be variable. That's fine. But the amount of cold hard cash that you spend to get them can't be changing. Hearthsteel should be integrated cleanly to existing BattleNet economy. This means you should be able to purchase them in-game, on the web, or in the launcher. Great. But it should be compatible with normal flow of WoW token, letting you earn gold. Yep, as I said, you'll be able to earn gold in the game to buy Hearthsteel. That's always Blizzard's take on things and saying, hey, it's not that bad, right? Hearthsteel is for housing. We currently have no plans for it on the trading post, mounts, transmog, or pets. So there you go. I'm not happy about this Hearthsteel shit. I knew player housing was a major play on making more money for the game, of course, and whatever. Game's got to make money. But I just feel like this is an unnecessary kind of predatory practice to add another virtual currency onto the WoW store. Unnecessary, but it is what it is. It's the practice of the way things are done today. And Big Daddy Microsoft wants that 30% cut, so they're going to do what they have to do, I guess. And for today, that is all in terms of news.